Today I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman who has a fascinating story. He used to suffer with elbow pain, annoying skin conditions, brain fog, and insomnia. But after cutting out junk food and going on a pretty interesting diet, his elbow pain disappeared, his skin cleared, and his mental clarity and sleep significantly improved. Because of his experience, he started to interview people that eat a similar diet to use their stories to inspire others. If you are curious about this man's health improvement story, his goals, and his advice for people that are struggling with health issues like his past self, be sure to stay tuned. Welcome to my interview, Mr. Joseph.
Hi, Leo. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate the invite.
Great. So, let me talk about your past situation real quick. Apparently, before you start to eat the diet you are eating now, you were having a lot of health issues. So, let me just start with your skin. So, right now, you seem to have pretty smooth skin, but how was your skin in the past?
It was really bad because I had psoriasis and eczema. So yeah, it was like red itchy patch. Like the skin rashes. Yeah, they look really bad. I have them a lot in my head, in my back, different parts of my body, my arms, but it's mostly in my head.
Mostly your head?
hmm
Interesting. Like your scalp?
Yeah, my scalp. I mean, also,
Ooh.
part of my head is also like the chin, also in the back of my ears, but like all parts of my head. Yeah,
Okay. So, you mentioned, did you say psoriasis and eczema?
yeah,
Okay. So, those terms are a little more vague to me, but basically, you just had a lot of skin problems on your most of your body, including your scalp.
yeah. Correct. So let me give you a
So,
little.
can you just tell me how did they look and how did they feel?
Um, they're just very itchy. The feeling of it, but they're also very red at the same time. So it's like a skin that's like drying off and like
Mm,
coming off. Yeah, they're very red, and they have like white patches on top of the red patches. Yeah,
ooh, well, how did that make you feel?
um, ugly. Yeah,
Mm, well, and did you struggle with that throughout your whole life?
I would say it started around my teenage years, and then I noticed some like showing up, but it didn't really get worsen like until I get to my early 20s.
Mm, okay. Apparently, you were also able to improve your sleep and your elbow pain. So, can you kind of comment on those? Like, what exactly were you struggling with?
So the sleep was like I guess it started late. Having trouble sleeping. Like I'm 40 now. I'm 40 years old. So I still have pretty much good sleep. Like even in my early 20s and my teenage years. But I guess I'm guessing like stress in general, probably life in general. Having family, having kids, that kind of adds up. Like working condition probably adds up to it. So and I think a lot, just me personally.
Mhm.
So that's probably like a contributing factor to me, like not sleeping well at night because I'm thinking of things here and there, just like endless thoughts.
Mm,
So but it started like probably like in my early 30s. Yeah.
okay, great. Can you be more specific in terms of the problems you were struggling with when it comes to your sleep? Like, it's very hard for you to fall asleep, or you wake up in the middle of the night. Yeah.
I think both those things pretty much. So it's hard for me to sleep, right? So
Mm-mm-mm.
even though I'm so tired, but like my mind's still racing. Like I still want to do something. Maybe it'll be like 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. I would wake up. I want to eat. I want to go to the bathroom and pee, And then once I wake up, maybe I sleep for like 2 hours and then I'll be up and not going back to sleep with just 2 hours rest, right? So,
Wow. Okay. Sounds like not a very good state to be in.
yeah.
And what about your elbow pain? How painful was that?
So the elbow pain all started, I would say, year 2023. This is when I had my tennis elbow. So because I play
Hmm.
tennis and I've been playing tennis since my teenage years. So I mean, even before carnivore, I thought it was not related to any of my diet. I'm just thinking maybe I'm just getting older and maybe I should stop playing tennis. So, but that was painful because I couldn't sleep. That was also a contributing factor to me not sleeping well. You would think it's just an elbow pain, right? But you have to like position yourself a certain way. And I've been to many, I mean, not many, I've been to one physical therapist. So, to get it like fixed. So I went there like 3 times a week for several months and it didn't do anything for me. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Okay. Mm. So you kind of revealed the diet that helped you out when you were sharing. So can you just briefly talk about what kind of diet are you eating now that help you improve a lot of your health situations?
So I'm doing the carnivore diet now. I'm eating a lot of meat. So pretty much just like fish, egg, pork, chicken. I don't eat fried foods, strictly meat, and even the spices. I stopped doing that last year. So just pretty much salt. I do eat a lot of bacon, burgers. I do have some cheese from time to time. Yeah, fish. I like sashimi. So whenever I go out to Asian restaurant because they have sashimi. Pretty much like I go in a buffet because they have those options. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So I want to get into a lot of the confusions people will have later. But really quickly, how known is this diet in your area? You can also talk about like where you are located, stuff like that.
So I live in New Jersey, and so the USA. It's not pretty known. I mean, I don't have anyone pretty much. I don't know anyone who's carnivore, but I did find out that one of my old friend was actually did carnivore actually for about a year, but he's no longer carnivore. So that's pretty much like my surrounding people. So, but I don't know anyone who's carnivore, and it's not very common. Um, you know, all the people I know who's carnivore is pretty much online. Yeah.
Okay. And you are talking about people that are actually eating this diet. What about people who have heard of this word, like this idea? This is a kind of diet. Do you think a lot of people know about this? Or some people they have completely not heard of this?
I would say like with my friends or with my family, because whenever I see them, I just keep talking about it, right? Like nonstop.
Hmm.
So which I which I kind of pushed back. So I mean, I guess they already know, but like other than that, like I'm guessing you're saying maybe like a worldwide or maybe nationwide. I don't know how well this is known, but I'm guessing that's the goal to get it, to get it for people to know about it, right?
Mm, yeah, yeah. It's not going to hurt to know some extra information for sure. Okay. So prior you went on this carnivore diet, were you struggling with any other health issues?
I think it's mainly the skin issues, which I've already actually because I've been suffering with it for maybe over a decade, maybe even more than 15 years, right? So that was a big one, and I've already given up like trying to fix it because I've gone to so many dermatologists,
Oh.
you know, try to heal it with, but all they really do is just give you another steroid creams, and it never really worked, and then you just feel like a Cinderella. So there's a time limit. Maybe after 2 days it would stop working, and then you would have to reapply again, and then it would come back again. So and then you go back to the dermatologist again. Do you have anything stronger, or what other treatment is possible? So yeah.
Okay, interesting. Let's see. Yeah, let me try to talk a little more about that. So basically, you were going to dermatologists and they were giving you some stuff for you to apply on your skin, and they could work for like temporarily.
Yeah, that's correct. So
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty much all it is. I mean, they never
Oh,
really recommend anything like, "Hey, avoid fried chicken" or anything like that. There's no like diet recommendation, or maybe like stop eating carbs. Nobody ever say anything. Yeah, all
okay,
they did was
okay.
just like do biopsies. I've done
Mm,
I've done a lot of those. So like they would get like a chunk of my skin and
mm,
then test it out. It came out psoriasis, eczema,
mm.
rosacea. So
Wow. Okay, okay, okay. How did you feel about being labeled these things? Like you are someone that has psoriasis, eczema. Did that hurt
well,
your confidence or something?
it did because the skin, just looking at it without knowing the name, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Or these like something I've been trying to hide from people. So whenever you have to go out, everything has to be pre-planned. So even just like going to the beach, like I would have to like plan it like ahead of time, because I'm very self-conscious. Trying to look a
mm-hmm.
certain way because you're younger and you want to look good in front of people. So I would have to apply the medications. I would say like maybe 4 days before. Let's say I'm going to the beach, right? So I would have to apply the ointment 4 days ahead. So by that day comes, like the psoriasis will it looked like it disappeared. So
Well, that's very valuable. Like, I cannot imagine that kind of experience because I didn't struggle with that kind of issue. Yeah, so I'm glad you shared that.
yeah.
And I guess people with skin issues sometimes they need to have some things injected to them. Did you have that going on?
I I actually don't remember, but I remember taking something oral. I think that was
Oh,
one of the treatment besides the steroids. Yeah,
okay,
I
okay.
think something was injected in my hands, but I don't know, for some reason I can't remember. I remember all the biopsies done, but I don't remember if they injected something. Yeah,
Okay, okay. And was that expensive at all?
at the time, yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
At the time, I didn't have insurance,
okay.
so there was a time in my life when in my younger days, I didn't have insurance, so I would have to pay for the cream. So that was expensive at the time.
Mm, okay. Did you try to do anything to fix your sleep before you went on your carnivore diet, but that didn't work for you?
I did. I was drinking some sleeping medicine, but they're all just like I bought from the store because I didn't want to go to any more doctors. Like I already had my elbow pain, and I didn't want to get diagnosed with something else. I mean, maybe it's something I didn't want to face reality. Hey, you have
Mm,
sleeping what do they call it? Sleep apnea or something, or you're having another trouble. Maybe you need to see a counselor or something. Go on counseling. So I feel like the tennis elbow was already big enough for me because it was taking time, 3 days a week, to for treatment. Yeah.
mm, mm. Maybe you talked about this already, but I want to just make sure with you. What exactly were you doing to help with your elbow pain?
They, well, at the physical therapist, they have specific like exercises for me when I go there. So first, the first thing is they would massage it, right?
Hmm.
So I forget the tools that they use, but they would massage it for like 30 minutes. And then after that is followed by like some exercises where you would have to, do some flexing with your arm, throw the ball to the wall, wall balls. Yeah, different workout things. But that's pretty much it. And then they tell me to not to play tennis, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
To lessen the stress on my elbow. But because this is the only thing that's like keeping me like happy, the only
Mm.
physical activity I have left. So, even though it hurts, I would still play.
Mm.
So that kind of like, sets up the treatment that I'm doing. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, interesting. I can imagine it took you a lot of time. Like it was taking you a lot of your time in your life and a good amount of money, I guess.
It did
Mm.
because I mean, I was working from home that year, so that was the benefit of it. I can go to the therapist right after work. So even though they say like after 6 o'clock, I would spend like an hour to 2 hours in there just to do their treatment plan.
Mm. Okay. So let's talk about your confusing carnivore diet. How did you come across this diet? And why did you eventually feel compelled to give it a try?
Well, the first thing was I think I'm starting to become desperate, like because nothing was healing my elbow, right? And when I was talking to one of the staff in the um, with the physical therapist, they were saying that I asked one of the staff, like, do you guys have someone who have similar issue like me, right, with a tennis elbow? It should be very common, right? But they said they did, but they just ended up doing self treatment. So this is when I became like more curious. What else can I do? What other options, do I have? Because I don't want to just end up doing self treatment to no result, no good result. So that's when I start looking at YouTube. Maybe it's carnivore, maybe it's diet related. Um, you know, because I had the skin issues and I've already given up, like trying to treat it. So like I think like 10 years ago, I'd gone to a nutritionist to heal my skin, right? Because the creams, the steroid creams are not working. So I try to explore other treatments, which is with a nutritionist. Maybe it's something related to what I'm eating. So that nutritionist pretty much put me on a specific diet. I'm not sure if you're familiar with paleo, right?
Mhm.
So it's mostly like vegetables and then a lot of lean meats. So I'm thinking,
Mm.
hey, I've never tried any diet before in my life. So I'm just pretty much like eating anything, like anything junk food, rice and meat, anything like not a good combo. So to me it sounded really like fancy, right? Like an expensive rich diet. So I'm thinking, okay, this is probably going to fix my skin. So I mean, I've gone to that nutritionist for I would say a little over a year, but also didn't do anything, and it was also very expensive.
Wow.
So I mean, with that, like she was doing the treatment plan for me, like telling me to avoid specific foods, but also giving me a lot of supplements to take. The supplements was about like 10 to 15 kinds of supplements, like all the supposedly all the missing nutrients that that's going to heal me. And that was the expensive part because 15 supplements, right? Not even
Mm.
an exaggeration. and it was me and my wife who's going to the nutritionist, right? So, and to like cheapen the cost, we share supplements. So yeah, it would be like 100 something, like to refill them like every month. So we would go to that nutritionist. I would say once a month, or sometimes we would go twice because we feel like we're missing something. Yeah,
So, how did you come across the carnivore diet?
that's right. So with the carnivore, I try to remember everything about the diet. I just did like 10 years prior, which is the paleo. So I'm thinking maybe this is also related to my diet. Maybe if I go back to a paleo, because when I was in paleo, I mean, it didn't fix my skin, but I felt good. I mean, I was skinny. I was skinnier. I was in good shape. I had abs. I looked good, even though I keep gaslighting myself that okay, I feel good, but it's not fixing my skin. So maybe if I delve more into other diets, I'll find something, right? And that's when I came across carnivore. So I was very curious, like maybe if I try this, I mean, the first impression to me it looks really bad because I was like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna get a heart attack, But even if I get a heart attack, I can say that I've tried it. So yeah, that's
Mm.
pretty much my curiosity. Yeah, I can't even say the word. Yeah.
Okay, great. So basically, it was because of your elbow pain, but your prior experience with this paleo diet made you have a connection with like diet. You want to like
Correct.
see if diet can help you. Okay, great. Interesting.
Yeah, Leo,
Uh,
can you hold on 1 second? It's getting cold here for some reason. Let me just
okay,
turn
no
on the
worries.
heat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry about that. It was getting
No
cold here for
worries.
some reason. I'm shivering.
Oh wow. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I hope you feel warm soon.
yeah,
Can we move on?
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, nice. Let's see. Is there a particular piece of content that made you start to realize a carnivore diet is a thing?
Yeah, well, the first people I came across with was I don't know if you're familiar with Steak and Butter Gal, Dr. Shafee and Sean Baker. So those are the three people when I was doing my research. The first
Mm,
people I came across with, and then I think it was Bella first. I think she was talking about her vegan journey. I think she was 6 years into vegan, and then she just did the carnivore like all in like in 2 weeks, and that's when like it struck me as like, whoa. I mean, if she did that in 2 weeks, you know, I want to I want to try it too. Maybe I'll get the same result. And then
mm,
right after that, I came across Dr. Shafee, and then I guess like him was more like factual. Everything is more has more logic to it, and then that's when everything made sense to me. So I mean, I did
mm,
research on this for several months. So I'm thinking, and then I became more confident to like just try it. So I said, you know what, if I get a heart attack, I don't know what else. Yeah, it didn't work in my psoriasis like with the paleo diet. So I might as well give this a try because I'm already desperate. I feel like I'm getting depressed. I have psoriasis, and then I go to the dermatologist, on a monthly basis, spending money on the medication, and at the same time, I have tennis elbow, and I can't do any physical activity. So yeah.
mm. That's definitely a huge motivation for lots of people. What kind of keywords were you using to that led you to find information surrounding a carnivore diet?
I don't remember this part anymore. Probably
Hmm.
paleo diet. I think,
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
because
That's pretty interesting.
yeah, that was the first thing that triggered me because
Okay.
I need to look into other diets. So first thing, it might have been paleo diet that I searched first. Yeah.
Mm. So I guess that nutritionist deserves some bit of credit.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Actually, because I was thinking about that because, you know, what she was doing is pretty much, I didn't think it was all wrong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually heard the carnivore from her the first time,
Oh,
but, I just shrugged it, I didn't think much of it. I'm just thinking she's probably crazy to,
oh,
you know, recommend this for me. That's why we landed with paleo instead,
mm,
right?
okay, okay.
So, I mean, her practice was pretty much. She does applied kinesiology. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
Not
So
too sure.
yeah, so applied kinesiology is pretty much finding out um, the root cause of your if you have any food sensitivities, and
Mm-hmm.
it's probably causing your health to deteriorate. So that was the main goal, is to find my food
Oh,
sensitivities. And the
okay.
way it's done is by extending your arm, right, like this,
Mm-hmm.
and then she would apply pressure to your arm to force it down. If it goes down like easily, that means you're sensitive to a specific food. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
before that, she would place she's holding a bottle with like different food samples, and she will place it onto your stomach, right? And then that's when she does the process. And then if it doesn't go down like easily, right, that means you have tolerance for that food.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was the whole general idea of it.
Okay, great. So apparently, at one point in your life, you were pretty confused and skeptical about a carnivore diet, like a lot of people. So you mentioned that you think you are going to get heart attacks. And what other belief did you have around carnivore?
Um,
Um, Let me try to phrase my question better. Uh, what other misunderstandings did you have around carnivore? You can comment on this real quick.
yeah. Well, the heart attack was pretty big one because I feel like I feel like I grew up understanding that part, like um, that if you eat like a lot of fatty foods, is that you're gonna get heart disease, and you're gonna gain a lot of weight. Um, is probably contributing factor also to my skin issues. So that was like one of my concern. And that if you eat lean meat, those are the healthy part of the meat. So I mean, knowing that now, that felt all wrong. I feel like so dumb,
Oh,
right? How did I fall for that idea? Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. How did you feel about the idea of not eating vegetables back then?
I thought it was weird because I feel like they were all like the superfoods. So I'm thinking, if you eliminate them, where am I gonna get this specific nutrition that everyone's been talking about, right? I mean, like spinach. That's one of the most common vegetable that I've been eating. I think
Mm,
that's what contributed to my sleep actually. So I mean, back to your question, pretty much. Yeah, I'm just thinking like vegetable is very important part of your diet, and you should not be leaving them out. So that's why
mm,
I agreed with the nutritionist at the time
mm-hmm,
that I'm on the right track because I'm eating the lean meat and then the vegetables. So I
mm,
ate a lot of spinach, and then I also eat a lot of lean meat. So, but actually, I got a lean body at that time,
mm, mm,
but I was also getting a lot of cramps at night, like Charlie horse at night. So I'm
mm.
cramping. When I play tennis, I cramp. Like I can only play like 2 games, and then I would cramp right away. I would need water. I would need Gatorade, all the sugary stuff to like stop them. So,
Okay. Did you think you are going to become constipated by eating a carnivore diet?
yeah, I did. I'm thinking it was gonna like clog my arteries, my intestine. I'm just thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be bloated. You know, yeah. This is all before carnivore, but yeah,
Interesting. Great. So basically, you had some beliefs around carnivore. When it comes to meat and vegetables, what information made you start to change the way you feel about this diet?
I think it was because of Bella and the way she, you know, when she showed her before and after picture, her losing
Mm,
weight and her also like skin getting better. So I'm thinking, you know, this is a miracle. You know, is that really true? If I try that, is that going to happen? I think that like really sparked my curiosity. I can say, yeah,
okay, that's very interesting. So basically, people's result made you start to question
Mhm.
your pre-beliefs. Interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Hmm. You know what? I feel like a lot of people, when they see someone that eats a carnivore diet has results, they are still going to not question their current beliefs. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on this? Why is this going on?
I think you're referring to like a cognitive dissonance, right? So like when you already have like a belief system and then you challenge that belief system you have. I mean, it wasn't as hard for me like to do that because I guess when I did the paleo diet, I felt like it was already I was already challenging my belief system, right? So, you know, and that nutritionist mentioned carnivore, that, you know, she has patients like who was carnivore, like eating 12 eggs um,
Mm,
per day. So I'm thinking that must be crazy. So that part already challenged me. And then, but
mm,
I mean, I did follow her advice. It's just that we went in a different route. So I mean, yeah, it's challenging, but I mean, if you're desperate, that would all go away.
Interesting. Exposure, the times of exposure and your mental state both played a role.
Yeah, I would say like probably in my case, and you know, also just also in my observation, a lot of people who are carnivore now, I feel like they all based it on their desperation because
Mm, mm, mm,
nothing else is healing them. You know,
mm,
they still want to live life. They're still looking for hope. So I feel like that's all the driving factor for,
mm,
I would say,
mm,
for all of us.
nice, nice. Very profound.
Yeah.
Um, are there certain talking points that made you start to feel different about the dangers of meat and the importance of eating vegetables?
Well, I mean, I did doubt carnivore, like especially in the beginning, because you know, like I said, like how vegetables. I really thought that this is very important. You know, where else are you going to get the nutrition? And I never really completely bought to the idea that all the nutrition you need is already in the meat until I actually tried it for myself. That you're right. I don't need the vegetables. You know, I don't need to take the supplements. So just eating meat, like just eating beef by itself, like on a daily basis, like just eating beef, pork, and chicken was already helping me, like in a big way. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. So basically, it's mainly your personal experience that made you shift the way you view these foods.
Yeah.
Like,
So mhm.
yeah, what I'm trying to understand is prior you went carnivore, did you have any certain information that convinced you or shifted the way you view the danger of meat and vegetables? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say nothing else until I
Ooh,
tried it. Yeah, I
interesting.
think.
So mainly it's just you saw Bella's transformation and you already felt compelled.
Yeah, so that was a trigger, and then
Mm,
the only thing that really convinced me and understood the whole process was when after I tried it and saw the result for
mm,
myself. So that
Wow.
was the whole like shift, like focus. It's like, okay, so I've already tried it on myself. I already did the experiment. So now I've seen the result. My elbow got better in just 2 weeks, along with my skin like improving. So that was it for me. And I'm thinking I'm gonna keep doing more research, even after I tried carnivore. So now I have less doubt now. I mean, I still have doubt, maybe like one
Mm,
percent here and there, because I'm gonna be carnivore in 2 years. I mean, in May, I'm gonna be 2 years carnivore in May. So I'm thinking, what happens to me, like in 3 years? Am I
mm,
still
mm,
gonna
mm,
be carnivore? Am I gonna have this urges to like eat sugar? So is my addiction gonna kick back sometimes in the future? So those are my concerns. Like, am I gonna experience more oxalate dumping? Like maybe in the next couple of months. I thought that I've already experienced them like early on, like having diarrhea, um, having headaches in the beginning, like really bad headaches. I thought those were some symptoms of oxalate dumping for me. But what if they continue later down the road, right? So.
mm. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I guess you just felt a glimmer of hope before you try carnivore, and that already was enough for you to uh, take action. You didn't need to be convinced around why meat is not that dangerous and why eating vegetables is not that important. You just want to try it.
Yeah, out of desperation, because
Okay.
nothing really else worked for me. I'm already in a bad condition, bad diet, almost like giving up life. There's no hope. I'm just gonna, pretty much, I'm just gonna go to the dermatologist every month and keep doing refills for my medication. Prescribe me a new one every year, different ones, stronger ones. So I've already given that up. I said, okay, let's just go through that process. But then the only thing was just starting to get desperate because of the tennis elbow. I said I already
Mm-hmm.
gave up my skin, but I don't want to give up my
Mm-hmm.
elbow too.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to play
Wow.
tennis.
Wow. Mm, nice. Wow. That's pretty touching, I guess. Was it hard for you to go carnivore in the beginning? Like, did you have some addictions, or uh, you didn't know what to do?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it wasn't that hard for me. Uh, I guess it has something to do with that paleo diet. That also didn't give me a hard time like switching, because it was just sudden, right? So when I switched to paleo diet, because the dermatologist was like saying, you're pretty much sensitive to all carbs. So that's when, it kicked to me, said, all right, if removing carbs is going to heal my skin, let's just go all in. So the same thing, with this carnivore diet. So I said, if it's going to fix my tennis elbow, let's just go all in. And surprisingly, it was more than just my tennis elbow. It has a lot of benefits. I'm sure you're familiar with the, brain fogs, mental clarity, skin getting better. This is actually the reason why I don't grow my hair. It's because I have the psoriasis, like in the back of my head. So I can put medication easily. I can see them, like if I put the mirror in the back of my head like this and then use my other hand to apply it like that. I don't grow any facial hair. Same reason. Yeah.
Mm, okay, okay. So, do you still have that issue right now?
I still have it. I'm still doing, I guess part of me doesn't really want to face more reality, because I'm already satisfied that psoriasis went away. Like 19 to 95%. So I have about 5% left. And, so I'm left with just what else is, triggering the skin issue. Is it the pork? If I remove the pork, I don't want to do that. Or
Oh,
do I remove the butter? Maybe that's the other sensitivity. Or is it the chicken? To me, I'm already satisfied. I can manage the skin a
Oh.
lot better. I don't go to the dermatologist anymore, right? So I don't want to remove any more food, because I mean, I still want to have the option of doing the lion diet if I get to another desperate state. So to me, 5% is already manageable, a lot manageable compared to what I went through.
Mhm. Yeah, everyone has their own goal.
Mhm.
So, what kind of diet were you eating prior to going carnivore?
Prior to going carnivore, it was a really bad diet. It was like,
Mm.
it's called the whatever diet.
Okay. Wow.
So I eat, I like fried chicken a lot.
Mm.
So I eat a lot of KFC. I eat a lot of Jollibee, and I eat a lot of pasta, noodles. I like ramen, instant ramen. So you can already tell, right? Like the bad diet.
Mm.
So I like to mix everything with rice, and then I
Wow.
would like hint it with vegetables here and there, just so that because in my mind this is so dumb. I'm thinking like if I put vegetables in there, I'm still gonna be in the healthy zone.
Mm.
The logic there doesn't add up now, but that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, at that time.
Okay. Okay. That's relatable. Mm. I
Yeah.
think that's what a lot of people do. They
Mhm.
need to like sprinkle some plants to feel not deficient.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. So it sounds like it wasn't all that hard for you to go from that whatever diet to a carnivore diet because you just thought it could benefit your horrible health state.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Mm.
Even my
That's
wife, like,
understandable.
even my wife, she would say, like, "You're not Filipino. How can you just like avoid rice like that?" Like, it's because my mind is desperate. When I'm desperate, I feel like I'll do anything. So I think in a way, it's a blessing. It made it easier for me. Yeah.
Mm, great, great. Did you know where to buy your meat? And was it very expensive? Because these are some things I guess beginners are going to be confused around.
Right now, we just buy regular meat mostly from Costco. So that's where
Mm.
we get our meat, and just the regular grocery store. I haven't explored like going into the butcher yet. So right now, I mean, we're okay. We're doing Costco. We like going to Costco. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
What about in the beginning? Was it
Oh,
hard
in the
for you
beginning,
to for you to know how to go about this diet?
yeah, yeah. Pretty much. I think one of my mistake was I still included the seed oil. So I was cooking everything in seed oils.
Mm. Oh.
So I was not aware of that. But, you know, even though I was cooking the meat in seed oils, my elbow got better because I was
Mm.
eating just meat, right? So, I mean, I'm thinking, okay, but we're gonna have to get rid of all of these, like, if I want to completely heal.
Mm.
So, yeah.
That's really interesting. Wow,
Mm.
and it's cool that you still saw uh, good improvements while still having seed oils. That's like a piece of nuanced information because I know a lot of people are going to make it seem like you just need to completely not eat seed oils to see results, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I was big on street foods a lot. Like, whenever there's like a event going on, I want to see what kind of street foods. And they cook a lot of they cook a lot of meat also in any like events when you see street foods, right? So I'm thinking if I just buy, pick and just tell the store owner or on the street food, just tell them, just give me the meat part, and those were like cooked in seed oil. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking all is well. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were struggling. Um, so you were having wait. You were having. I'm struggling with the grammar. Okay, 1 second.
Mhm.
So you were having sleep issue, elbow pain, and pretty horrible skin issues. Uh, what kind of health improvements did you see after you go on this crazy carnivore diet?
Mm. Well, they all pretty much improve, right? The sleep, if you ask me like what is the best thing about carnivore, I would say it was the sleep. I feel like that was the contributing factor to like my tennis elbow because I can rest pretty much. And then, like even before like carnivore, they said that sleep is very important because it heals your skin. I think, when I went carnivore, I think that pretty much like, you know, what carnivore heals. The first thing said, okay, you need sleep, I'll make you sleep. It's like a magic wand from Harry Potter, right? It's like now you can sleep so you can fix all your issues. So
Wow, very interesting. Yeah, so can you be more specific when it comes to the improvements you saw? Like, what exactly did carnivore diet do to your sleep and your skin and your elbow pain?
you mean like
Like, the results you saw. Like, how different are you compared to before?
well, compared to before, I mean, uh, everything is simplified now, right? So I can just go out, without having to do like so much pre-planning. Like going into the beach, I don't have to do those ointments. And now I'm playing a lot more tennis, and I actually um, I won a runner up last year doing playing tennis because I joined a tournament. So yeah, I mean, I keep patting myself in the back, thinking like I'm gonna enter more tournaments this year because I feel like I'm back in my 20s, so I can
Mm-hmm.
last long playing tennis longer. That's another result that that really motivate me more. My I guess how do you call this? Like my endurance is a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And before, in my 20s, I feel like I don't have good endurance. Like I've done marathons like in my 30s, half marathons. Like I always get cramped towards the end. And now I can last long playing tennis. Like I can play 6 matches. I can probably even longer, right? So now I want to try doing marathon again. Maybe I can break my old records, like when I cramp on those races. So I mean, sleep have improved. I can sleep for 6 hours and feel refreshed. I don't need coffee. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I like all the improvements I had from skin to like skin. Everything simplified. I don't go to the dermatologist. That one is the best. But nothing can compare that. I can sleep at night like rapidly, like quickly, without
Wow.
just like I close my eyes, I'm asleep. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
I can feel happy from what you are saying. Nice.
Yeah.
And so you still kind of have the elbow pain problem, but it's not going to show up unless you play tennis for a long time.
Before carnivore, yeah. I mean, for some reason, sometimes when I go to the treatment with the the PT, uh, it would heal because I would go there like 3 days a week, and it would heal. But then I would feel the urge to play tennis because I miss it. How are you gonna tell me not to play tennis? And
Mm-hmm.
so it would come back. Now, 2 weeks into carnivore, I said I'm gonna play tennis, and then because the pain is gone, so I tried it, it didn't come back. So that was also the
Mm-hmm.
best thing. So I was like thinking, this is it, heart attack or tennis elbow. I don't care anymore. Yeah.
Wow. So you don't have that issue no
I
more.
don't have that issue anymore.
That's pretty miraculous because I think people are not going to really think diet can play a role in your joint pain or whatever whatsoever.
Mhm. Yeah, well, because it's a funny thing because I had some friends who had tennis elbow before, and when they tell me like I'm clueless, right? Because I never had tennis elbow before, so I never really knew what they went through when they said they're struggling
Mm-hmm.
with a tennis elbow and they had to limit their play. this is my younger days playing tennis. So I'm thinking, oh, you just have to suck it up, you know. Probably rest for 3 days and come back to court. I never really understood the pain that they go through, and they saying like, I can't play today because I have a tennis elbow. And then when I went to that, I understood, like, I feel like going back to them, I know your pain,
Mm.
So, and then with carnivore, it changes everything. I feel like the whole experience, it left me dumbfounded. I'm thinking,
Oh,
what just happened? Everything I
wow,
know about
wow.
life is wrong. Yeah. Yeah.
That's powerful. Great.
Mm.
So, what happened to your teeth after you went on your crazy carnivore diet? Did your gums start to like bleed because you didn't eat vegetables?
Actually, it didn't. I feel like it's more clean. I go to the dentist for cleaning every year. I mean, yeah, every year, twice a year, right? For cleaning, the check with the hygienist. They tell you to go once or twice a year. So every time I go there, they said like, oh, I mean, before my gums were like bleeding a lot. They're very sensitive. They would touch it. They would have to numb it, like just for cleaning. So I feel like I already have a lot of problems. I never talked about my teeth. So, but I went to the dentist twice last year for cleaning, and they said that your teeth has like improved. Like, what have they asked like, what have you been doing with your teeth? Right? So I just said that, well, because they complimented me. They said that your teeth looks really healthy and your gums as well, right? So,
Mhm.
and I kind of, yeah, I don't know the right word to describe it, but I felt the urge to say that, hey, I'm carnivore. That's what I do.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I feel like I should not have said that. And they said that right after them, like complimenting me that my teeth looks cleaner, right? They said, well, I'm missing something. Hold on. So I told them that I only actually brush my teeth once a week, but I still do flossing and do mouthwash daily. So I told them that, and I'm also doing carnivore. That's what I do
Mm.
pretty much. And they said, wow, before even mentioning them that. And then when I mentioned them that, they said, no, 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 no. Your teeth is actually look inflamed and they look bad. After they just complimented me and after they
Mm.
did the cleaning. So, that was straight up BS.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Wow. Hmm.
So I might have to find another dentist, or I actually don't see myself going back to the dentist. Maybe I'll miss one of my two appointments per year.
Mhm. That's some interesting phenomenon when it comes to human behavior.
Mhm.
Okay, let me see. So, Joseph, you have been eating a carnivore diet for almost 2 years now. How is that possible? Like your stomach didn't explode because of the lack of fiber?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question. It didn't. Surprisingly, it didn't. I mean, that was one of my expectation, but I didn't get that experience. Yeah.
Okay, so like what happened to your digestion?
Nothing. Actually, less gas.
Mm,
Uh, actually, I'm just motivated to just eat meat. Yeah.
wow. Did you notice any improvements?
What else? Like besides skin or
Yeah, I mean like digestion wise. You mentioned less gas. What about like the bowel movements themselves?
the bowel movements. I mean, I only go to the bathroom for that once a week, sometimes even less, right? So, I mean, my understanding, like before, was that going to the bathroom every day to perform bowel movement.
Mm,
It's a good thing to do it every day. And then now that after carnivore, I feel like it's completely the opposite. I mean, the less you go to the bathroom is actually the better.
okay. How do you feel about eating vegetables? Do you like eating vegetables? And do you notice you get certain symptoms after eating them?
Well, before, I would say, I guess I never really like vegetables. I mean, I really like eating meat, especially fried chicken, right? So to me, that was meat at the time. I guess I'm coping, right? So I feel like I only eat vegetables because, conventional nutritional advice was that if you eat vegetables, it's very important for your health, and that, it does a lot of good to your nutrition, even though it tastes so bad. So that was my only motivation for eating vegetables. So, I mean, if people are not seeing any bad signs from eating vegetables, I mean, I don't really see, a reason for them to stop unless, they get into like some food sensitivities and they're curious to see what sensitivities they're going through, or they want to explore something with their health, or some major improvements. They just want to improve health in general. I think that's probably going to be the triggering factor for them. But like most carnivores, right? It's because of desperation. So I don't see really changing anyone's mind unless they get to that desperation state.
Mm, okay, okay. And how do you feel when you eat meat?
When I eat meat now, I feel good. I feel like I'm not eating anymore because of comfort. Like before, I would eat meat because, oh, I miss this meat. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. So I would try to copy, like, okay, maybe I can make that street food at home. I can replicate what they do in the restaurant and just cook that, that ramen, bowl of ramen, like at home with the instant ramen. So
Mm,
I'm no longer doing that. So like my motivation now is just for nutrition. Would I trade like feeling good, the simplified version of feeling good, to what I was doing before? I just don't see that like right now. Maybe if I get a heart attack, that would change my mind. But I don't.
mm,
I also don't see that happening. Yeah.
mm, mm. Should I reveal my personal stuff? Well, yeah. So for me personally, when I was little, I didn't like to eat vegetables, but I was always eating vegetables because people told me they are important. Yeah, I just need to eat them. And I liked eating meat, but people told me not to eat too much meat, and not to like. People told me fatty meat was dangerous. So basically, I couldn't really be myself. Like if I was being myself, I was like I would have been eating a bunch of meat, and I would have been avoiding vegetables. Uh, what was the case like for you when you were little?
When I was little, where
Did you kind of did you have this kind of being experience of kind of being exploited?
mm, wait, exploited? Like, wait, can you clarify that question? Hold on.
Yeah. So like I wanted to not eat vegetables and I wanted to eat a lot of meat, but I didn't think I could do that. So I was like forcing myself to eat vegetables and telling myself not to eat a lot of meat. So that's kind of like being exploited in a way to me. So did you have that for you?
Oh, okay, okay, I see. Yeah, yeah, I did. I did. Felt that like after finding out carnivore. Yeah, because like I said, like I felt like everything was wrong. Whatever, it challenged pretty much everything I know, because I'm also doing it like you, like for the same reason, for thinking we thought it was healthy and then it wasn't. And the same thing, that's what my parents know. And I mean, I can't really blame them because that's what we all knew. That's what the general guidelines are. Even, even cultural differences, that's pretty much the standard approach. And so, you know, knowing this now, I feel like, yeah, like you said, we felt like we've been exploited in a way. So, but I'm just trying to. I mean, in a way, I guess I would say that I'm still trying to cope with it, trying to accept it because is this really the correct way? But my instinct is already telling me this is the way. I mean, how can you not? How can it not be? Because it improved every single issues that I have. So how could you question it? Like because of your doubt when it comes to heart attack. What everybody thinks is going to happen if you keep eating fatty foods because of that. When you actually had the firsthand experience. So yeah.
Great. Okay. So, Joseph, you have been eating a carnivore diet for almost 2 years now. Have you gotten your body checked at all?
That's actually one of my plan on my checklist to do this year, right? So because I plan to do a lot of physical activities, right? Like I'm going to be doing a lot of tournaments. I'm going to be joining marathon races. So, but before I do that, I plan to go to the doctor to get it checked. So, I mean, I'm not just going to go to a regular doctor, right? I'm going to go to
Mm.
a doctor who's actually familiar with carnivore. And I found this doctor through a carnivore app. So, because I don't want to end up like arguing with the doctor, saying, "Hey, you know what? If you do that, you're gonna get a heart attack." So, I want to go to at least someone who's familiar, who's doing this diet, or he doesn't have to do the diet, but at least be familiar with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's like your motivation to get your body checked? To prove to others that you are healthy or to for yourself?
I think both of them. I mean, yeah, I want to prove, to people that look, I've been carnivore for almost 2 years. I want to show that, to people that yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong, doing this diet. It's actually beyond wrong because, this is the actual proper diet, And at the same time, I also want to, prove it to me, prove to myself that, this is I'm in the correct path, just to further further prove that, just for myself, just for my own record, for my own record.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
that this is the right way. Yeah, but if you won't comparing it, like who are you proving it more, like maybe to myself more or to the people? I would say maybe 50-50, maybe close to like 51-49%. I can't really tell, but yeah, I'm guessing like 50-50. I want to prove it to both sides, to the people and also to myself.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So for people that hear your story, they hear that, oh, you have been able to noticeably improve your health by going on this crazy all meat carnivore diet. But right now they are like still still pretty confused. They're like, how the hell is this possible? Do you have anything to say? Do you have anything to say to them?
Well, yes. So I interviewed someone who I asked pretty much the similar question, right? Similar situation also, and I would say the same thing this person said: get over yourself, right? Yes, you can improve pretty much on eating this way of diet, and it would actually surprise you even more because what we've been taught about nutritional guidelines is actually all wrong. And what is my proof? What is my evidence? It's myself because I've tried it. And you're never going to see it for yourself unless you actually tried it. And that is the only way, specifically just for, trying the carnivore.
Mm, okay. Mhm. So um, I can hear some sound of children, and my next question is going to be related to children. So I know you have apparently you have children. Do they eat a crazy old me diet like you do?
No, they don't. I'm the only carnivore in the family who's full carnivore. My goal with them is really to increase their meat intake because I mean I don't want to force it to anyone. My wife is also not carnivore, but I'm seeing less carb consumption, but they still do eat rice from time to time. They still eat bread from time to time. So that is my food noise on the side, right? So they eat pizza, and I would try to mimic that pizza sometimes the carnivore style, like less carbs for them, and then I would just recreate it like a carnivore approach. So I mean, I just found out about the diet like almost 2 years ago, and then for them to get exposed to it like early on in their life, I feel like it's already an
Mm,
advantage,
mm,
right? So I mean, my goal for them right now is just to get educated about it, like so sometimes in their life, sometimes maybe in their early 20s, if they come across some health issues they have, like psoriasis, they might have that because I had it, so I'm just going to pass it on to them. So I already know this thing is going to fix their health. So
mm,
I mean, right now I'm having success having one of my older son who is 9, and he's consuming a lot of beef now, like on a daily basis, like and because he has psoriasis in the back of his neck, and it actually healed it, and I've been applying less medication in his neck because I
mm,
told him, like, see, your neck is healing, right? So if you see this, if you want to keep seeing this result, you're gonna have to keep eating meat. So
mm,
that's how I pretty much like talk to them. If you want to see like quick result, this is what you're gonna have to do. The less you
mm,
eat carbs, the better you're gonna feel, the better your skin's gonna look.
mm. Okay. How many children do you have?
I have two, 5 and 9 years old. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And let me just talk about the 9-year old real quick. Like, how does he feel about what you say to him?
Um, I feel like my 9 year old son is he's very smart.
Mm,
He has like a perfectionist like mentality. Even I just see it like because when he draw something, he wants like no smudges, like those
mm,
little I would say like traits. So when I tell him about carnivore, I feel like he's like processing the information in his mind like really
mm,
well, and the fact that
mm,
he understands when I say that, do you see the improvement in the back of your neck? We barely applied medicine, you know, weekly, because your skin improves. This is all because you're consuming meat. And at the time that when he had the skin rashes, we applied the medication daily. So, I think he's able to process that, like, I guess logically in his age. So I think he's processing it well.
mm. Well, yeah, I'm happy to hear this happened to you because I can imagine if you didn't come across this kind of lifestyle, your life is going to become much more chaotic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree with that assessment because I was already getting depressed.
Oh,
I feel like I was already heading that way with the skin issues, me giving that part up, and also the tennis elbow. I think what even contributed to it was the COVID years. I think 2020 was the major factor to my stress.
mm,
I think because of the COVID vaccines, like the whole isolation. I think you have to put your mask on. I think you can't really see anyone, and then they were like forcing the. I mean, on my job, they didn't really force it, but they pressure you to take it. So,
mm,
and then I even switched jobs because I'm not really liking my jobs anymore. I don't know in your I don't know in Taiwan how the situation is during COVID, but I think everyone's pretty much like accepting of the mask, right? But here in the US, like there are people who did not like the mask, who did not like the vaccine. So, and I'm one of those people. So, I like my the freedom to choose like whether we have it, but some people get like fired from their job because they didn't want to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess in a way, for me, I didn't like that I had to put mask on. I didn't want to be because to me it didn't make sense, right? To me, this is just me. It didn't make sense to me the whole logic of like the 6 feet, like 6 feet apart, the whole putting the
Mm-hmm.
mask on, like when you think you're sick, when you're sick, or even like transmitting the COVID. I didn't like any of those ideas because it didn't make sense to me. But it could be worse, right? Or I just like having the option to opt out, to
Mm-hmm.
opt in, but we didn't have that. So and then a lot of people were like, I think social media, like Facebook, um, a lot of people disagreed with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would get onto like some debates, maybe some like talk, like some people would say like, "I'll pray for you," "I'll pray for your
Mm-hmm.
family." We all know what that means, but
Mm-hmm.
so I think at one point, like I even left Facebook because there was so much censorship because I just couldn't take it. Like, I would talk to people, and then the next thing you know, their profile's not there anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
and the censorship wasn't just like it was like on the side. It was really blatant. So I feel like I just don't want to be there because all the talking heads that you hear is just the same. They're all like pro vaccine, pro mask, like even the surrounding people that I have. So yeah.
Mm. How does your family feel about the fact that you drastically improve your health by eating a carnivore diet?
They are dumbfounded as well. I think they're questioned about it. They're unsure. They think that I'm gonna get a heart attack, so they think this is not a healthy thing. They
Mm,
think I'm on the deep end, and this is just a fad diet. They also
mm,
think this is just a trend on Instagram, TikTok, and a lot of people are just doing this and it's just gonna go away. That's what they think.
they don't have any good things to say about your health improvements.
The health improvements, well, I'm not really sure if it's I guess in a way they feel good at the same time they're worried. I don't know how to explain that. Like,
Mm,
so they think, "Oh, are you really good?" But don't you think there's like a negative outcome of doing that later on, So it's kind of like backhanded at the same time, but in the beginning they would say like it's good that you're feeling good, and because your skin improve, you look improve, and you look like you look skinny. My mom thinks I look bad because I'm skinny. I think like in her mind she thinks like you have to be a little fatter to look healthy. I don't know if this is like a Asian approach that you have to look some kind of like you have to look chubby to look healthy. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. So, how do you eat out as someone that eats a carnivore diet? Do you just eat meat?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. I think I've successfully blocked out the noise, even though they're still around because, my family is not carnivore. So I feel like I test them out every day. I mean, not every day, maybe every other day. I go on YouTube, watch all those food trip videos, showing Taiwan street foods, Japan street foods, like even Filipino street foods. I watch them, so I say, okay, those are not appetizing to me anymore. Sometimes, like, I would look at
mm.
them, I would watch those videos and feel bad because I guess I would say like they're not informed in a way, you know.
Oh.
So yeah,
Yeah, but so like, where do you go when you eat out?
Oh, when
What do
I
you
eat
order?
out, when I eat
Yeah,
out.
yeah. What did you think I said?
Oh, I'm thinking you were asking about like what I think about carnivore now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
and
Yeah,
then
so let me
extending it
say
to the
the
family. Yeah.
okay, let me say the question again. Like, how do you eat out as someone that eats a carnivore diet?
How
Do you
do I
just eat
eat
meat?
out? Yes, pretty much. So I normally go eat out in a restaurant that has sashimi
Mm,
because I don't trust other restaurants how they cook it. So I know it's most commonly cooked in seed oils. So that part I don't trust. But I mean, this year I'm looking to eat, trying out different restaurants besides, besides Asian restaurants. So if they have seed oils, but I'm just gonna be consuming like pretty much
mm,
meat. If they're
mm,
just gonna
mm,
cook it
mm,
on seed oils, I think I might be able to tolerate it. Because
mhm, mhm,
that's how I started it anyways. I tried it and I still got better.
mm,
So I'm thinking I might be able to do that. So if I'm not gonna be eating out like every other day or like weekly, and I go eat out like once a month. So I
mhm,
think I can
mhm,
pretty
mhm,
much tolerate eating with just all meat, and then maybe cooked in seed oils. Yeah.
mhm, mhm. I guess that kind of approach has its benefits and downsides from what I have noticed. So obviously, when you eat that kind of meat, it's less optimal, but you are having a better time around your the people around you, so that can be considered a benefit. So it just depends on what you want.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it has its ups and downs because,
Mm,
like you said, when I'm around with friends, right, around my family, we can eat the same thing, and
mm,
then at the same time, but yes, seed oils,
mm, 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 mm,
So, but I mean, I guess that's the best approach for now. I
mm,
mean, I can be a real pain and then just like ask, like,
mm.
not ask them to not cook it in seed oils. But
Mm.
yeah, I think, I mean, they probably have apps for that now. You can just, right, look into apps like which restaurant does not cook in seed oils.
Oh yeah, right, right.
Mhm.
Okay. So do you think it's hard to eat out as a carnivore at all?
Oh, yes, definitely. Um, I think it's very hard to eat out because travel is a big factor to that. I always have to scout like which restaurants, right? I would have to see which food options for me, and then for my family, it's pretty easy because they have their food, and then, but for me, I'm the complicated one.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I guess this is also the factor why I'm not eating as much like outside.
Mm, basically, your standard is that you want to find meat that's cooked that wasn't cooked in seed oil.
Yeah, I guess I would say that's pretty much the standard for me
Okay,
now.
great.
I mean, if there's no other option, and then, I mean, would it really be an emergency? It's not really going to be an emergency, like where you have to eat out with seed oils. So, I mean, if that's the only option, and then you have to hang out with your family, then I'll just do my best. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have like some meat option, but just cooked in seed oil.
Hmm,
So,
hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Have you had people in your real life that hated on the fact that you eat a carnivore diet?
No, actually, well, I don't really know what they're thinking. So to me, like, I mean, I did tell so many people about it, after the result I got from it. So I mean, they all say like, "Oh, good for you," I don't know if that's just a facade or just like to show like, "Hey, great, good thing you find something that works for you," or but I don't really know what they're thinking. So I don't know if they feel really bad.
Oh,
So yeah.
but at least people didn't like just directly hate on you.
No, I don't think
Okay,
they
great.
directly hate. I mean, I did tell one of my vegan friends.
Mm,
So because I played tennis with this couple, and then
mm,
I think she told me that the whole family is vegan. So
mm,
I did tell her, but she didn't say anything because I said I'm doing this because it's because for my health. You know,
mm, mm, mm,
it worked for my tennis elbow. This is why I
mm,
can play with you. You know,
mm.
so I mean, no comment. So like,
Oh,
I don't really know what they're thinking. So
wow, that's pretty tricky, I guess, because
mm,
you are like completely two different worlds.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so Joseph, you healed your insomnia, skin issues, and elbow pain by eating a carnivore diet. If someone is interested in doing the same, if someone is in, if someone is interested in doing the same thing, what advice would you give them?
You know, if it was early on my carnivore journey, I would say do it right away, right? And maybe do a little research to it and then just jump onto it. But now I am close to my 2 years on my journey. I would say do a lot of research. You know, I would still advise to some people who are in good condition, like, you know, in good health, or maybe they're just curious. You know, feel free to jump in. I mean, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna hurt them. But if you're in a stage where you're, you know, desperate, or maybe you have a time limit on your, you know, on your life or something, or I would say do a good research to it, because this can save you. And you know, I don't want to recommend, because I feel like I've heard a case about somebody having a heart attack, some random case, but he's probably having an oxalate dumping because, you know, he has a long, you know, uh, life where he was unhealthy. You know, at a point in his life where it's so unhealthy. So I don't want to recommend it also, like, to jump on it. So I would really recommend to do a lot of research, do it gradually, very important, and approach it carefully. Yeah.
Mm, okay, great. So, how do you feel about the fact that you were able to drastically improve your health by eating a carnivore diet that you once thought was very crazy?
Um, well, that's a good question. Because let me get on the negative side. Well, I feel really dumb,
Mm,
you know, because it drastically improves something that I looked as negative in the past, you know. So I'm thinking, you know, I consider myself like who really do my research on things, and then, you know, and then when it comes to this, I feel like I'm so late in the game. So I mean, that's the negative side of me, like feeling dumb about it and not catching on like early on, when I see so many young people like learning about carnivore early in their life. I feel like it would, you know, I would be step ahead if I learn about this. But on the good side, I feel like it's not too late, because I can still do a lot of physical activities. You know, it gave me hope. Like, it gave me motivated. I became so. I have more. I'm more hopeful in life. I have more urge to do things. Like, want to go beyond what I can. You know, what I can do. I want to join more tournaments, like in tennis. I want to join more race with running. Um, you know, I'm not so like I don't feel a lot of anxiety anymore. Like, I don't feel nervous anymore. I have more confidence approaching life, like talking to people. I had OCD in the past. I feel like the voices in my head went away. I think I can sleep well. So I think that's the positive side. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Powerful. Do you think everyone should go carnivore?
Well, I mean, In reality, I guess it would be my bias. I would think like because I already consider it like the proper diet, the proper nutrition for everyone. So normally I would just say yes. So in my bias thinking, I'm thinking
Mhm.
everybody should just go carnivore. But everyone has their journey. I feel like everyone's gonna find carnivore maybe later in their life when when they understood. Like me, I shrugged my nutritionist like upon hearing about it like in the beginning. So and then I heard about it 10 years later. So I feel like everyone has their own journey and it'll eventually come to them. So, I mean, if they're doing well, eating vegetarian or maybe they're disciplined doing omnivore diet, they're probably, I don't know how someone can handle like on and off on this kind of diet, like sugar addiction, try to limit themselves. But if they're doing well doing that, I feel like it's really hard. Um, that's a good thing for them. But yeah, but I think it's a proper nutrition. Um, the carnivore way is like if we have to reset everything, I feel like it's the carnivore way. And if you have tolerance, like eating vegetables and carbs, then that's a good thing. I feel like I envy you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice, interesting. So, Joseph, you are a carnivore, and I'm sure you have seen people who eat raw meat. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like it's something I am not. Let me rephrase that. I mean, I'm open to it. Maybe in the future, but at the moment, I am already satisfied with what I'm doing because 95% of my health issue already improved, like with the skin. So with I think it's called the primal diet, right? Primal way. I mean, I'm open to it in the future, but I did hear like Ken Berry talked about it. Like I think it was just the eggs. He said not to eat the white part of the egg, the white part, but you can eat the yolk. So I would try something like that maybe, but I don't know. I'm just not sure, because I feel like I'm gonna get sick. Maybe I still have those doubts in my mind, but right now my carnivore approach of just doing all types of meats and salt and then dairy here and there, I feel like it's already efficient for me. Yeah.
Mm, great. So, as a carnivore, do you have any thoughts on veganism?
On veganism, I feel like I've never tried it myself. I think the closest I probably got to it was the paleo. So, well, I never really given it a thought because yeah, because I've never experienced it. But like after learning carnivore, that's when I've given it a thought, and I've spoken to carnivore. I mean, to vegans who, and then they became carnivores. So I mean, I'm really already biased to saying that it's not really optimal, and I think it's really unhealthy because you can't really depend on it. Is you're really gonna have to depend on supplements. I was doing the paleo diet and I was relying more on supplements. Really, I think that's how I was able to operate on a daily with my daily activities like working, like playing tennis. If it wasn't for the supplements, I don't think I'll be able to yeah function
Mm,
daily.
mm,
So I feel like vegan is not really open, when it comes to that aspect. Like they're taking like side supplements or other things like a protein shake on the side, maybe plant based or whatever you call it. So to me, I don't really see it. I don't really see it as a good source of nutrition. I think
mm,
somewhere along their future, they're gonna end up seeing carnivore, like many of the carnivores now.
mm, 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 mm. Okay, so let me talk a bit about the fact that you interview other carnivores now. So, why did you want to start interviewing people that eat a carnivore diet like you?
Yeah, that's a very good question because I think I was starting to get depressed also, not being able to talk to people with like-minded, you know, about the carnivore, and I feel like the only people I talk to is they're not interested.
Mm,
So in a way, I feel like it's going on a date. I mean, not actual date, but just like going out with people and then bringing
mm,
up the idea and then their question. So I feel like it's not really comfortable because they feel like they it always ends up with just like more questions from their end, and then me just like
mm,
giving more information about it, which I do like, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, we always just end up to that one conclusion. All right, it's good that you find something that works for you. So that, and then I mean, I spoke to Dave Mack like the first time, and then I think like a couple of days later, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is not
mm,
enough. I have to do more. So I have to talk to more people.
mm,
And then that was the trigger for me. I said, okay, why don't I just like start a podcast and then, talk to carnivore people? That'll probably like, help me out mentally also because,
mm,
and then, pretty much like ask my the question like what I had in the beginning of my journey, and then that's
mm.
how I like pretty much like format everything. All my curiosity. Oh, I can finally say the word. So all those, and I have in the beginning, and that's pretty much what I ask all the people I interview.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Mhm.
Mm. I did not expect this answer. I guess it makes sense you did what you did. Yeah, but I guess people usually don't think outside of their box like this.
Mhm.
Mm. So, what have you learned over your experience interviewing people who were able to improve their health by eating a carnivore diet?
Well, I think because at first I was really curious about everything. I think interviewing a lot of people, I think solidify what I know now. I think that's pretty
Mm,
much it. I think it's just like um, grounding, like much of what I know, and that because it's evidence based. Like pretty much every single people you interview, that's the evidence, right?
mm, mm, mm,
So I feel like it can be discredited. Like if you talk to people because they can always like say that, oh, but you don't really know what goes on to their life. They could be lying, like that.
mhm,
They
mhm,
can discredit it that way. But to me, it solidifies.
mhm,
I
mhm,
mean, we can go to those specific ones, but there's studies now. Like I spoke to Dr. Ankur. I think it was last year, and and he's in India, and he's now coming up with the first study about carnivore. So that is pretty much going to come up more later in the future. There's going to be more to come. So
mhm,
I think like what I learned really from this the interview is just like those things, like becoming more solid, and also like
mm,
how supportive the carnivore community is. Yes, there's going to be people who are pushy, but that's I mean, no community is going to be ever going to be perfect, but we're not like the type of people who's just going to no stick with us. They're not like that. So I think I like the supportiveness, and also the grounded approach, also the science based. I feel like everything is very logical. I might not
mhm,
get to all the logical approach of it because I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning what I feel like I'm still going to be doing elimination diet in the future. So I feel like, yeah, it's just continuing to expand my knowledge on carnivore. Yeah, I think the more
Mm,
people
mm,
I
mm,
interview, the more I learn. Yeah.
mm, mm. Awesome. So sounds like it didn't took you a long time before you took action. Like you had this idea and then you just went for it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty
That's
much because
interesting.
I think the research for me before I really started
Oh,
it
so
was
I'm talking about like starting your interview series.
oh, the interview. Yeah, it didn't take long.
Mm,
I'd say right after the interview with Dave Mack, I think I started right away, and then I started
wow,
formulating like,
nice.
should I do this? I mean, because I'm working full time, so I'm thinking, when do I
Mm,
have time to do this? It's like, let's do it at night in the weekends,
mm, mm, mm,
and
mm,
then
mm,
sometimes I work from home, so I
mm,
was like, okay, maybe from time to time I can do it when I work from home. So
mm.
yeah, I started it right away because I'm just excited to talk to people who have
Oh,
similar mindset. So
nice, nice. I
yeah.
respect that. Have you faced any challenges along your way interviewing people that eat a carnivore diet?
Oh, challenges during the interview? Probably not. I mean, every every person I interviewed, are pretty much like, I don't know, they're just very nice. Everyone is nice.
Hmm.
So I can't. Yeah, I don't really have anything negative. I
Mm.
mean, when I interview people, I think the challenges would be when there's a lag. When I talk to them.
Oh,
Yeah, but I think like I would wait like a few seconds and then, okay, oh
yeah.
no, what did they just say? It wasn't too clear. But now I think I fixed it. So I just like connect my computer to a router so it has a clear, because I was doing it with Wi-Fi. So I think that was the issue. Yeah.
Okay, great. What kind of advice would you give your past self that just started to interview people?
Just started to interview people. That's a good question. Actually don't have an answer for that because I just started myself. so I feel like it's a good way to start podcast because you get to meet a lot of people. So that's a good motivation to start, and you get to learn more as you go. So I think that's just the basic, just from the ground up. Also, learning more, and I think especially just it's really good just meeting people. I think that's the best part for me. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, great. Do you have a family member you wish could go carnivore?
Yes, I do. Right now, my dad, because he's sick, but I mean, I told him about carnivore many times. So every time I visit, I tell him to go carnivore. So, but he doesn't really want to. So he has his
Hmm.
own mind. Even shown my videos, like my interviews, and like,
Hmm.
hey, see this very related to your case, so, but nothing. So I feel like that's the double edge of double edge situation with carnivore. Like, we feel so much healing, but at the same time, you see the people around you who's like
Hmm.
suffering, and you can't really do anything, or you can't really force them because they have to make up their mind on their own. So yeah.
Do you mind sharing what exactly is your father struggling with?
My dad has diabetes, so yeah.
Okay, okay. Do you see yourself continuously eating your carnivore diet in the future?
Yeah, I mean, right now I haven't had like a downside really with carnivore. I feel like the only downside is the social aspect. Like when going through social gatherings, because it's hard not to it's hard to hide it, and I don't like hiding it. So,
Hmm.
and I feel like the second someone notices it, um, they're gonna ask about it. Why are you not eating my food? don't you trust me? you know.
Mm,
So I feel like that's the downside.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What was the question again?
Yeah. So, are you going to continuously eat your carnivore diet in the future?
Yeah, I'm gonna be eating carnivore. Uh, I think because I'm already expecting another oxalate dumping experience in the future, maybe in the next year or two. So I'm just trying to see how well I go past that, if I survive that or something. So if I do survive that, I don't see myself going back because I don't wanna I don't want to give up carnivore just because of the social aspect.
Mhm,
I'm feeling so good. I don't drink coffee anymore. I wake up so well in the morning. I perform so well doing physical activities, and I feel like this is not a good switch just because so I could socialize or be similar to what my family's going through. Like their regular diet or so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, I only have a couple more questions. So, Joseph, can you share what are your goals?
My goals, pretty much on top of my head, I probably just want to get my kids become carnivores sometimes in the future, maybe sometimes in their life. I don't expect them to be carnivore now because I feel like it's going to be very hard, like in school or like social aspect, which I'm going through, an ongoing basis, right? I feel like for everyone. So yeah, I feel like my kids because I feel like they're the biggest asset that I have. So I feel like I want
Mm,
them to become healthy in the future. I don't want them to go through like skin issues in the
mhm,
future. I don't
mhm,
want them to go have like arthritis or like
mhm,
tennis elbow or any other like joint pains in general. Yeah, and I feel like the second goal that I have is to just continue like spreading the word about
mhm,
carnivore because I stop also forcing it on people, forcing it on my friends. So my goal is to just like keep spreading, just keep going. Even if whatever I can do, whatever time left I have, I'll give
mhm.
it to the carnivore. Whoever's having health problems, maybe it's time for them to hear something.
Mm, beautiful. Great. Yeah, I think it's definitely pretty important for kids to have proper nutrition. I'm a pretty big believer that your facial development has to do with the way you live and eat. So a lot of people nowadays, uh, they have crooked teeth. They have to get their teeth pulled. Their face don't look as great as it can be, in my opinion. Like their facial bone development, and there can be a lot of downstream effects. Yeah, so it's definitely very crucial for kids
Yeah,
to eat properly.
I agree with that because I feel like when I scroll on Instagram, I see a lot of those charity videos, like like
Mm,
have these problems, and I feel like sometimes just like, oh my god, some of them look simple because I feel like they can just be healed through carnivore,
oh,
and but you're gonna get a lot of pushback.
mm,
But what can you do? I mean, it's not gonna
mm,
be a complete fix, but it can be it can you can maintain it. It's something that's going to help them in the long run, not just like a short like a what I'm trying to say, like a band-aid that's just going to like fix something. But I mean, it's for the long run. It's going to make them healthy. Yeah.
mm, mm. So you kind of mentioned this already, but what are some downsides of eating a carnivore diet, in your opinion?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I did mention because of the social aspect, right? So that's the downside for me, which is like going out for celebration of there's a birthday in the family, my kid's birthday. So we have to, make a birthday cake. And it's full of sugar, but I feel I feel guilty because I see people like I
Mm,
don't want to feed them because I already know it's unhealthy.
mm-hmm,
I want to feed them the same thing I'm eating, but
mm-hmm,
they're not doing the same diet as me, or so I feel like that's the downside. Really, the social aspect, like especially family and friends. But I know family and friends they really try their best to be understanding.
mm,
So, but
mm,
they're gonna hold back their comment, and
mm,
because it's working for me, so they're gonna try to understand everything.
mm,
So, really, I feel like the downside is that, and also the
mm.
travel. Yeah,
Interesting. Have you noticed any health downsides
health downside. Nothing right now. I'm so like
right now?
I feel so bombarded with the good side. Like
Mm,
I can't see anything wrong. Downside, I'm gonna have to like squeeze my mind to find some a downside like in the health because I don't see anything.
mm,
I feel like it's all been a good side.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Awesome. All right. So, Joseph, let me give you the last question for this interview. Uh, is there something you wish everyone in the world could understand?
I feel like this is a deep thought question. Well, there's many things I want, something the world to understand. Well, one of them is that we've been lied about so many things. I feel like that's one of my realization is that and I'm just in a journey of like trying to connect the dots. What else besides like food have we been lied to? So I feel like because I'm in this journey, I feel like it's probably the most important thing that I want the world to know is that the proper nutrition or the correct approach to nutrition isn't correct. That what we've been told about.
Mm, mm,
I feel like the carnivore is the correct approach to that, and it's not gonna be a easy process telling the world that. And I feel like it's gonna require all of us to keep spreading his word, um, keeping doing this podcast. You know, linking people to another person, like your podcast, like my podcast, everybody else, you know, every little help like contributes to it, like spreading the word. So I feel like that's what I pretty much want the world to know at the moment. Yeah.
mm. Great. Okay, guys, this has been your guest, Joseph. I'm your host, Eggman. Joseph, hope you enjoyed this interview.
Thank you, Leo. I mean, it's been a pleasure. I feel like it's been an honor to be interviewed by you. I was doing my research during my carnivore, early phase of my carnivore, and I came across some of your videos, and I'm really glad that I'm able to be interviewed by you, and I'm able to also interview you at the same time. Yeah. Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah. If you are still listening, I was interviewed by Joseph a few days ago. So you are welcome to check that out. I'm going to link Joseph's socials in the description. Yeah. And yeah, if you're still listening, shout out to you. Hope you enjoyed Joseph's tips and stories. And okay, let me check out. Remember to keep your eye on your boy Eggman because he's going to keep creating great interviews like this one. And be sure to check out all my previous ones. And yeah, like I said, check out Joseph's content as well. With that said, peace out, guys. Bye bye.